Hey guys, it's Jessica with Expressions Vinyl, and today we are going to show you what you can layer with heat transfer vinyl or HTV. We're going to tell you what you can and can't layer, what holds up the best, and things like that. Okay, so here I have all the different layers you can do. This turquoise layer on the bottom is Easyweed, and then the top layer right here is also Easyweed. This whole shirt, the bottom layer is Easyweed, and so this layer is the metallic. And then we've got Stripflock, Holographic, and glitter. Now over here on this shirt, the bottom gray layer is Stripflock. And I know a lot of you are going to say Stripflock, you can't layer on Stripflock, but with Caesar Stripflock you can. So I've layered Easyweed on top, and then we've got metallic, and this one is Stripflock on Stripflock. And then holographic and glitter. So basically, those are the vinyls. If you're gonna layer, you want either Easyweed, stretch, or Stripflock on the bottom. And then you can layer whatever you want on top. Now with the glitters, you don't wanna layer glitter on top of glitter because the glitter will affect the adhesive. You can get it to stick, but washing and stuff, it's not gonna hold up as long as it would if you layered Easyweed on the bottom and then glitter on the top. The same goes for holographic and the metallic. You always want those to be your top layers. I have a shirt here that I have layered different pieces with. So I've got Easyweed on the bottom, Easyweed for her eyes and nose, and then the holographic is on top for the little accents. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of a project I had a lot of trouble with. So this bottom layer, the black, is Easyweed, and it's such a big solid piece that when I laid that on first, it shrunk up. So you can see that these layers here are sticking out because my bottom layer shrunk up so much. And then over here, I tried to pop out the middles of the black and then center these inside. And if I were to do them individually, I think I could have got it to work, but I was doing like the blue layer, the red layer, then the green layer. So it was kind of tricky, and the black shrunk up again. So I'm gonna show you a little trick, and we're actually gonna make the shirt on what you can do to layer this many layers and it not shrink up on you. Okay, so I've got all my layers here. As you can see, I have quite a few layers. So we're gonna start. The trick to not having your bottom layer shrink on you is using Stripflock. It's got a fuzzy texture, and you'll mirror it when you cut it out. And then when you weed, it's gonna leave this little fuzzy, but that won't transfer onto your shirt because the adhesive is on this part, and that's what's gonna transfer to your shirt. So I've got these all laid out. If you notice, I have a T on each one, and that's just to show me that it's the top. This section is the top. So when I'm layering, I know kind of where I'm at with which piece. So the next one, we will show you how to layer it on. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to kind of line up your image on your shirt. You wanna make sure all your tags are taken off and you don't have anything left on the shirt. You can pre-shrink it if you want, just don't use a dryer sheet or fabric softener because that will affect the adhesive on your shirt. So I like to do this trick. I take this shirt and I fold it in half. So it gives me a crease right down the middle. Get it all straightened out, and then I press it for just a few seconds, just to give me that line. So I know right where the middle of my shirt is. Okay, and then I'm gonna get it centered on here. And now I've got my first layer, which is the Stripflock, and I'm gonna fold that in half. And when I was creating it, I put a box around it, so when I weeded it out, I had nice straight lines to cut around. And vinyl is very forgiving, so you can fold it like that and it's gonna press out. So I'm gonna line up my line right here and my line down here. And now this is Stripflock. The temperature you usually wanna do it at is 320 for 15 to 20 seconds. Where we're layering it so much, and this is the first layer, I'm only gonna press this one for 5 seconds. And I've got my temperature set at 305. Because the rest of my layers are gonna be Easyweed, and Easyweed likes the temperature to be at 305. So I'm gonna press this for 5 seconds. And my timer's gonna go. Another thing about Stripflock is it is a cold peel. So we've got to let this cool off a little bit before I peel it off. If I were to peel it off right now, the vinyl is going to come up with the transfer sheet and you're going to be sad. So we're going to let that cool off a little bit. Peel it off slow. Now, if I were to take this and wash it, it would probably come up because I didn't transfer it long enough. But where we're gonna layer, we're gonna get it nice and set before we, and I'm losing an L. Okay, so did you see that? I lost an L. I'm just gonna lay that all back down and press it again. Just for a few seconds. Pop it back up, let it cool off a little bit. And we got it to stick down, okay. Now, I've got a little cheat sheet that I printed off of how my layers are gonna go. And I want this because not all the lines are equal. Like up here, I need to leave a little thinner line, and down here it's a little thicker. So I'm just using this as my cheat sheet to kind of tell how far apart my lines need to be so I can get everything to line up really well. My first layer I'm gonna do is the yellow because it's got my corner pieces. So that'll get me started out. And I also have a T to tell me where the top is. I want to make sure and peel that off before I transfer it down. So I know where the top is now. And I want to take my time and make sure I get this lined up. This is the first layer. If this layer is messed up, the rest of it's going to be off a little bit. So just check back with my cheat sheet and make sure I've got everything where it needs to be. And I've got my carrier sheet for the yellow, but I've got some parts sticking out. And so we are gonna get a paper to go over top of that. Okay, so now we have our multi-use paper, and that is gonna protect the vinyl that we've already put on from our heat. So it doesn't come up on our metal and ruin our vinyl. So we've got that covered up, and we're gonna press this layer for like 2 seconds. And this layer is Easyweed, so it likes a hot peel. And again, it's not gonna be set down. The adhesive isn't gonna be set, so if we were to wash this, it wouldn't stick. But with all our other layers, we're gonna get a full set. So this is my next layer. I've got my T for the top, and I'm gonna kind of eyeball it and see where it needs to be. And peel off my T again, because I don't want that part on my shirt. Okay, and again, I'm gonna take my time and make sure my layers are where they need to be. So my green is up kind of a little bit, so I gotta make sure I get that in the right spot. All right, I think we are there. Okay, and my multi-use paper again to protect the exposed. And just press that for 2 or 3 seconds. And then peel that layer off. All right, we're gonna do blue next. And same thing. Peel off our T. And then get this into place. I think that's good. Couple seconds and pop it up. So you could totally do this with an iron, but it would take a lot of pressing. It would take a while. Heat press definitely makes layering easier. Okay, so we've got our next layer, the white layer, and I've already peeled off my T. And I'm gonna get this nice and lined up. Okay, and then my multi-use paper over the top. Press it for a couple seconds. And pull it off. All right, we're getting close. This is a lot of layers. Peel off my T. Do my red layer. So it's nice to have a background that can guide you when you're layering so you can get everything nice and straight. Okay, do this one for a couple seconds. And my last layer is my orange. So we'll get that nice and lined up and do our last press. And this one we are going to do for 10 seconds, because each layer only got a couple seconds, but our first layer, the yellow layer, has gotten the most exposure. But doing it for 10 seconds will just make sure everything's nice and set and everything gets a full press. So we'll pop this up and pull off our very last little piece of carrier sheet. And we are done. We've got all our layers and they're nice and lined up.